Hey Mo, we need to get an intro down for this channel, you know.
Yeah, but what are you thinking, Leigh?
Why don't I rap over the top of it?
Don't be ridiculous. You sound like a northern M&M.
Look, listen to me. Yo, yo, yo. The Munch Brunch in the house, man.
Absolutely not.
Right, what you got in mind?
Let's just keep it simple.
I'm Leigh.
I'm Aim.
We're the Munch Brunch.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another mukbang with Aim and Leigh. We are the Munch Bunch UK. Leigh, tell them what we have on the menu today.
We put a poll on our channel and we said, what food should we do next? And some people said Nando'S. We said, we ain't got we do have a Nando'S, but they're not doing liver. I don't mean deliver. I was thinking of the joke about liver then. We couldn't get delivered basically today. So we've done Nando'S style chicken with Nando'S sauce, Nando'S seasoning.
Yep.
Whole chicken, baked and marinated in Nando'S seasoning and sauce. I'm doing all that and the messy stuff. We've got corn on the cobs. We've got some lovely crispy chips back here.
These are actually from Iceland.
They're really good, you know.
They're really nice. Extra crispy.
Yeah, really crispy. Salad, and Aim's got some rice back here, which I will not be touching. It's like a Mexican style rice. Nando'S is not African food, ain't it? We couldn't get African rice, so we've got Mexican rice.
Just have a try.
I have had it before.
That is lush. That is really nice.
Uncle Ben's Mexican rice. It's not bad. Just I didn't fancy it. A couple of cans of Diet Coke as well for beverages. And it's late now. It's like 25. Oh my god. I was thinking this. If me and you ever split up, and God forbid we down, or I don't kill you or anything like that. But if me and I did ever split up and it was somebody else, because there are obviously people who eat later on. Danny, who follows us, how you doing, Danny? She eats quite late because her husband gets back late from work, and Danny does. I couldn't be asked getting somebody who said, right, Leigh, we're eating at like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm like, love, you can eat then. I'm having my dinner at 5, 6. You can eat on your bloody own. It'd really wind me up, that would. Do you want some of this putting on here?
I'll put some there.
To dip in? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of eating late, like your main meals.
These chips are insane.
Yeah, they are good.
That'll do.
A little dabble do, yeah.
Let's have a taste. A bit spicy. Like them.
A second. So let's adjust the microphone here. Has Leigh got... Yeah, please. Do I want some salt?
Not too much, Leigh.
Does the pout shit in the woods? Of course I want some bloody salt. Yeah. Ooh.
Right.
How's your day been now?
My day's been fine. Well, my mum's not been too well, has she?
Your mum's been bad since she had the COVID jab yesterday.
She was fine. She was fine yesterday. And then at 5 o'clock this morning, she woke up with the most horrendous headache.
That is from, if you didn't watch our last video, guys, that's because she had the COVID vaccination yesterday. But it's one of the side effects. A lot of people have complained about this side effect. But I did hear on the news just before that hospital admissions for COVID have gone down by like a fifth in the last week.
Which is fantastic, isn't it, guys? Seriously.
If you've ever been to Nando'S or get Nando'S as a takeaway,
woo!
What heat do you go for? There's just the medium one, but obviously it goes all the way up to like burn your bum hot.
That's good.
Yeah, medium is manageable for me.
The chicken, I've done a good job there.
Chicken. Oh, yes.
Fine. You don't need to go to Nando'S.
You don't need hot chicken either. Sauce. I couldn't do like the really hot ones. That is just warm for me. Well, you've had the hot one when we went like one time, didn't you?
Yeah, but to be honest, that's just the right amount of spice, isn't it?
It was nice as well. I've only been to Nando'S like 3 times in my whole life. Some of you probably go every day, but I've only been like 3 times.
Okay. Let's make a Nando'S lettuce wrap.
The other thing that does my head in with Nando'S, when we've been anywhere, our one is like the queue outside and going in. And you're sitting there eating your food. I don't know, it doesn't feel like a restaurant type sort of thing. You're sitting there eating your food and like people all around you waiting to get a table. It's a bit off-putting. Like, I just want to eat my dinner in peace. I don't want Dirty Pete looking over my shoulder, sneezing everywhere. So I just want to eat my food in peace, please. And like people coming in and going. I was like, if it had a bit more separate apart away from it, it'd be different. That's just our one anyways.
Maybe it's like when we went, might have been.
No, it's always busy in Nando's.
We did go to
Another time we went now, it was like, oh, we don't need to book, do we? Hell, yes, we bloody did.
Oh, right.
And we ended up going to Chiquitos, I think, in the end. We was wanting to go to Nando's, it was too bloody packed.
Not only that, it's where it is. Like, on a Saturday night, this place is always rammed, this area. Isn't it, to be honest? It's silly.
I'm having a bad day, health-wise, everyone. I've hurt myself twice.
Oh, God.
So Aim said to me before, sharpen a knife, Leigh, with another knife, so I sharpened it. And then I was cutting some lettuce. The lettuce was a bit wet. It slipped off the lettuce and sliced the top of my finger open. It's like, yeah, the knife is definitely sharp enough. There's blood everywhere. And this afternoon, if you can see this mark on my head there, I headbutted a nail. Not even joking. The nail was in the wall. We used it at Christmas to put some Christmas cards up, like with a string. I've forgotten to remove the nail. I bent down to pick up a coin off the floor. I dropped, headbutted the nail. I was like, ooh, that hurt. And I come in here, I was like, bloody hell, you got a hole in your head now.
The thing is, do you remember at the beginning of all this COVID thing, people were having so many, DIY accidents at home.
Were there? I haven't done much DIY since COVID myself.
Yeah, people were like doing up the homes, and there was so many like DIY problems.
All right. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
I don't read DIY web groups and stuff, chat rooms.
No, it wasn't like that. They was basically saying like, since people had took up doing.
Too much sauce.
Wow. Where did I get these from?
Iceland.
Yeah, good.
This whole meal is amazing. Really good.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I'll make this again for sure. It's not really the chips, it's like the chicken is well.
We should do it though, peeps. I mean, literally, it's Nando's bacon in a bag. So it's like I'll show you. We have shown it in the past.
What I did, obviously, I bought the chicken yesterday, so it was completely thawed. Then rubbed it all on. Really didn't I? Rubbed it all in the chicken.
Because the bacon in the bag things come with like a seasoning, don't they? Nando's seasoning. So
Yeah.
I'm saying she spread it all over.
Yeah, I spread it all over. Then I got some of the Nando's piri piri sauce. And I rubbed all that in. Put them in the bag. Baked it. Then the juices obviously rolled out the chicken. So I got them out the bag. Basted it all. Added more of the seasoning. And then I've got like my George Foreman. I had that on the go. And I...
to get this sort of burnt look.
Yeah. Not burnt, but...
Kind of like Nando's look. But the it would have been even tastier, but we forgot to buy the bloody sauce yesterday when we bought the chickens. If you buy the sauce, obviously, the day before, you got it in the house the day before. We could have marinated it for like 24 hours beforehand. But this is bloody good still. Anyways.
Yeah, it is, to be fair.
Right. I've got a couple of questions for Aim today. I've heard a couple of conversations today. Got me thinking, what would Aim's take on this be? So,
For an onion.
I'm going to ask Aim, and what are your lot's opinion?
Oh, yeah.
I know you've always got an opinion, you lot, so I want to hear it in the comments. Today's topic, or one of them, do we treat sex with men, between men and women, like differently? And what I mean by that is, if a man does something, are they treated a bit different to if a woman did it, like people's opinion? So, we all know the story. We've all heard these stories over the years, haven't we? What's her name? Barbara Windsor. She passed away, unfortunately, but she was one of the ladies that who got with a younger man.
Okay.
How old was he? What was the age gap? About 30 odd years, something like that.
Something, yeah.
About 30 odd years, I think, between Barbara Windsor and the man that she loved him and he loved her. No doubt in that. But there were these relationships out there where you get
They're called age gap relationships.
Yeah, Hugh Hefner, for instance.
You can't use him as a bloody example.
Hugh Hefner, about 80 odd years old, sleeping with 18, 19-year-old girls. And, if it's a woman doing it, like an 80 odd year old lady, and she gets like a 19, 20-year-old lad, everyone's there like, fair play to her. She's doing alright for herself there. No one has an issue at all. We're all accepting that. That is so cool on her part.
Right.
That she's 80 or 90 and she's sleeping not 90, 80 years old and she's got like a young boyfriend or young husband. You're all thinking to yourself, but I wonder why he's really with her. But she hasn't got the money, maybe he's just actually He's got a thing for grannies
Yeah.
or something.
They are out there, people who do genuinely just want to be.
Yeah, and they're also the ones who are there for the money.
Yeah.
But then you got an old man, 70 or 80, and you got a young woman, maybe 18, maybe 20, 21. And again, it could be that they're there for the money. But we always assume the man's a dirty old git.
Right.
And he gets run round town like, what the hell are you doing, you dirty bugger?
Okay.
Wait till the girl's dad finds out he's going to have your legs off. But if it's a woman, well, it's acceptable, right? Fair play, love. Hey, Deirdre, you're doing well for yourself. You got yourself an 18-year-old lad, recently left college, couldn't pass his bloody mechanics course, and now he's shacked up with you. You're 80 years old. A couple of years he's going to get your house if you pass away. Well done. You're making the most of your last couple of years on Earth. And, well, not a couple of years, at last, you know, the end of your days. What's your opinion? Like, why is it acceptable for a woman to do this with a younger person? But if a man does it, you know yourself, if we knew an old man and he got with a young woman, we'd be all like, that is disgusting.
Yeah, it's totally right, actually. There's now come back from this. I watch a lot of these age gap programmes. Because I'm curious. I'm curious by all the weird things and not. And I mean, your dad is actually with someone a year younger than us. Okay? So, his dad's 54 or 56, whatever.
So when we got together, they got together around at the same time, didn't they?
So, how old you be 21?
My dad's missus was 21 when they got together.
Yeah. So, she and he are in love like you would never imagine. Like, they are so happy. And they was like, I don't give a damn about what people think about me. No. I think as long as they're happy, that's fine. It worries me if somebody's doing it for money or for, like, using the other person. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I do think it's unfair if men get the blame. However, it's just deemed upon as that, isn't it? It always has been.
A wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are those couples who, again, old man, young girl, and they go into the relationship on that understanding. Look, I'm old enough to be your great granddad. You're young enough to be with a young lad. I have money. You want money. That it's okay, and they're cool with it. And if that's the agreement, fair enough. But then at the same time, if he was to go and pay a lady, like a lady of the night, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? If he went to her and said, love, you know, I'm 80 odd, and like that way, all of a sudden again, you're disgusting. How can you sleep with an old man for money?
It's the companionship, isn't it, for the person who pays? You know? But you've got to be seriously committed to how much you love money to sleep with somebody you're not attracted to. Now, I personally think there is plenty of older people who are attractive, you know, but if, like, it was somebody, let's just say, who looked a little bit like my nan or my granddad, I personally, at my age, don't find them, obviously, attractive. That's just the way. I'm not attractive. I think there's some very beautiful looking people, but it's not my sort of age group.
Some older people age a lot better these days.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Robert De Niro, I think's really good looking and that. But I'm on about like 80, 90. You know, I'm not personally, and there's nothing wrong with it if you are, but I'm not personally attracted to that age group as my age of 35 right now. I personally couldn't go into that agreement with someone if it involved sex, because I couldn't do that. I couldn't sleep with anybody that I didn't find attractive in the first place. So I would be no good as a lady of the night. I'd be no good at it. I mean,
well, it's a dangerous thing to do, ain't it? But, you know, walking around the streets and whatever.
no, I'm on about like escorts and things like that, like high-end thing. But I guess if that's somebody's agreement, man or woman, and they're both treated, there is a signed contract and stipulations, then that's up to the individual, isn't it?
But there are places like in America and whatnot, I was hearing this today, where you got to be very careful. Like, This bloke has us too. Joey Diaz is a comedian. Really
Cover
funny
everything
bloke.
on these shows, so I don't know.
Yeah. And he was on there, and he said he goes for massages, not rude ones. Just he's a big man, and he'll go and he'll pay this lady like $45. He said, but I'll give her a $60 tip. For $40, it's like 45 minutes. He says, if I give her a $60 tip, she'll do the full hour. He said, like, they have shiatsu, they have all this other sort of massages, and they work his neck and his back and his feet, all this sort of stuff. He says he even takes his missus. They go on date nights for massages and
People
stuff
do
like that.
that, loads.
I've never been for one massage in my
Couple
life.
spa massage, yeah.
Well, that's what he does.
I mean, nothing dodgy at all about that.
No, so we've got to be careful though, because you go into these places, advertise outside, massage,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, that's different.
But like the police have busted a lot of people. Like arrested a lot of people.
You're busted.
Who've gone into these places thinking, just gone in for a massage. What about it? And they don't realise like the masseuses
It's
or
a
whatever.
legal massage house.
Yeah, they'll
parlour.
say like, look, for an extra $20 or whatever it might be, $100.
Massage everywhere.
I'll tug you off basically. That's,
God, say that.
yes, you can.
No.
That's what they say.
Lee, don't say that on the video, please.
Oh.
There's children watching, Lee. You can't. You know, Lee just said something really inappropriate, and I've made him edit it out
Yes,
because
it rhymes
that's
with
not-
rug. Anyways, they will pleasure the man for extra money, and then the men get arrested, not knowing it's that kind of place, and they have been arrested without knowing they're walking into that sort of establishment. But again, going back to our original point,
yeah.
it is why is it acceptable for an elderly lady to do it with like sleeping with a younger man or?
She's judged though. Don't get me wrong, Lee. People do judge these.
But a lot of people also say, "Well done, love. You're way, you're doing really good for your age." I mean, there'd be women in the first like, "How the hell's an 8-odd-year-old got with a 20-odd-year-old? I'd have had him, and now he's with like an 80-odd-year-old."
Yeah, I think some people can get a little resentful actually. But at the same time, like going back to that exact point, because I think this is a really good conversation. I think, like again, if that person is okay with it, and the one who is wanting the younger person or older person knows the deal, then they're not being ripped off. They are fully aware of what they're going into. And that's their prerogative. The wrong part of things is if I'm honest, and this is a question that was on the news the other week, is Melania Trump going to divorce Donald? Is she with Donald for his status and money? Myself, I don't find Donald Trump attractive. But that doesn't mean she doesn't. So in retrospect, you can't always judge a book by its cover and say just because one person is younger, older or better looking than the other doesn't mean they aren't happy. No. And sometimes it's just the way it is, guys. You're like you don't always have to be on par with each other. You don't always have to be on par money-wise or whatever. There's some more in there.
No, right.
You don't have to be that way. Sometimes it is just the way. But there are so many judgmental people in the world now because everything has to be... You have to kind of look a certain way. Have this amount of money. Have this amount of status for somebody else to be on that level. Anyone watch the film Made in Manhattan with Jennifer Lopez and Ralph Fiennes? It's kind of like that. He's like some sort of millionaire. She was a maid. She pretended to be something she wasn't to make him not judge her. And actually, in the end, he didn't give a damn. And he was like, that's fine. You know, it's the reputation, isn't it? You've got to have this. But sometimes when you look at, like your dad, Jodie, people have judged.
Oh, yeah, and her family at the time at first did, until they got to know my dad. But there's no way in hell, I can answer that one right now, there is no way at all that Trump woman likes Donald Trump. She went into it knowing full well one day he's going to pop his clogs and she'll pick up all the money. And there is talk of them getting divorced. I don't know if they will or not. But, I mean, there was like a clip on the news of when they come off the plane after they'd been like booted out of White House. And she like... Hands? Yeah, no, there was a bit though. They come down, he's there like posing for pictures. She's like, phew, see you later, mate. I'm off to get an espresso. She legged it as quick as she bloody could.
I mean... that is a circumstance. What I'm saying, as in, you don't have to be on par looks wise. If you ask me, would I be able to, for billions of money, sleep with Donald Trump? There's some things that I personally just can't do. Like I couldn't. I mean, I love money. Everybody does to a degree. Come on, it does make the world go round, so to speak. Could I do that with Donald? No. I really couldn't.
Now, there's one I watched, a documentary. Again, it's like I said, would you do Donald Trump? There's obviously over the years, all the way through like Hollywood and whatnot, especially in Hollywood, a lot of young women, as we knew, that we heard about Harvey Weinstein.
Do you know?
Sorry?
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, whatever.
That sounded like, what's his name?
Frankenstein.
No, Weinstein. What's that?
I don't know.
What's that clever dude called?
Who?
Professor Einstein. That's him.
Oh, for God's sake! Who the hell's Einstein again? What's his first name? What the? We started really stupid here.
No.
What, Einstein. Einstein. Who's Einstein?
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein. For fuck's sake. I had a blonde moment then.
The laws of gravity.
Anyways, I'm not about Albert. He didn't do it wrong. Harvey did. But there's been over the years a lot of celebrities and rich, popular people who've used their power and stuff to get ahead in the world. It's pretty much always blokes. Doesn't matter. It's pretty much always blokes. And they use it to get ahead. And I watched just a whole show it was. It wasn't a documentary, it was a proper programme. It was Russell Crowe. It was on Sky Atlantic. I can't remember what it's called now. He played this bloke. He put on like a shitload, sorry for language, a lot of weight, or one of them big bodysuits. He played a bloke called Richard Ailes, who helped start up Fox News. Back in the day when Fox News started in America, he was the one who produced everything. And what's her name, that annoying woman out of the first Ring film?
Rachel.
No. The one who... Naomi
Watts.
Yeah. She played this woman called Kelly something, who was like a famous news presenter in America back in the day.
I don't think she's annoying, by the way. That's just Leigh.
Well, that's alright. Anyways, he used to have all these young women. Who, bear in mind, they wanted to get ahead in the world. They wanted to be news reporters. And presenters, rather, not reporters. And he'd make them do all sorts of weird stuff. Like, he'd have them meet him in his hotel room. He's a big, fat...
Who's this again, this?
Richard Ailes, he was called. Russell Crowe.
Okay.
Played the part. He'd have him meet him in his room and stuff, and he'd, dance for me and all this weird stuff. It was a really good show. Really, really good. And the bloke died in the end. But he used his power in his position to get ahead. To help these women get ahead. Quite literally. And he said, look, do this and you'll be presenting like the 2 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news on Fox News.
That's ludicrous.
A position everyone wanted. And the problem was these women had worked so many years to get to this point. It's their big break in life. And they're told, look, you can have it. All you got to do is such and such. No, okay, well, if I do that, then I get like this amazing position on TV as like one of the main sort of presenters on your channel. So, yeah, of course you will. And they did. He gave them everything they wanted, but they had to do a lot for him.
The thing is, though, he's like Harvey Weinstein, and then you've got all these women coming out now saying he did that, which is disgraceful. But you can't tell me, keeping quiet all for that long, they didn't do things that he wanted them to do. To me, that's just, it's not bribery. You make a choice.
There was a bit, Ricky Gervais apparently did a joke about it after it come out, or before, one or the other. He was presenting like the Oscars or something, or
yeah,
and Harvey Weinstein was there. And he...
Harvey Weinstein.
You had all these famous women and men coming up collecting their awards. Like, without Harvey, we couldn't have done it. And like, a lot of these women are women who then come out and said stuff afterwards about him.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, come on now.
There was all there like, yeah, without Harvey, we would not be in this position. He gave us our big break in Hollywood. Knowing that he'd done whatever with him. But it goes way back. Marilyn Monroe was one of the original ones. And all the original, like, older generation of actresses, which I don't know a lot of the names, but like the really famous names you hear. So you got like Marilyn Monroe, something Davis, Betty Davis. Oh, there's a lot of famous women back then. Yeah, like in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they were meant to do all sorts of stuff to get ahead.
Marilyn Monroe, yeah.
she was sleeping with JFK. She was passing information from JFK to the mafia and back and forth. She was sleeping with famous actors, not by choice. She was sort of told she had to go to certain places, do what she was told, and then she'd get in these movies.
People will do some intense things to get on top mooning. Well, the thing is, right, let's say you was in a position now and it was like, I don't want to say John Collins, but let's say like somebody like of that age group, and they was like, look, I want some company. The stipulation is, I've got a load of money, it'll be left to you. All I want is yada yada yada. What do you say? Well, you got to really take it into consideration.
Money don't mean that much to me, so I'd probably say no.
I'm talking like 2.4 million. You're set up for life.
Look at 2.5 and I probably would do.
Let's say 4 then. And even 4. Like, would you actually consider it? I mean, I reckon in things like in the office she used to work at, and she could tell things wasn't right.
Back then, things, well, not just then, but before that, things are a lot different. So, again, I got Joey D.I.Y on right today about when he was a kid in America. And he knew this bloke called, what's that bloody country now? Begins with P.
Philippines?
No, not Philippines. Puerto Rico. He called him Puerto Rican Nelson.
Where, Donny?
And he said, why you call him Nelson? Well, because he was Puerto Rican, his name was Nelson. And he used to invite kids around his house, and so, like young lads, like 15, 16, and said, do you want to look at some adult videos? I go, okay. Because like 15, 16, they'd get them back there, he'd start giving them beers. And then they'd go, and that'd be, he'd like ease them in. And then he'd say the next day, come round to my apartment, I'm going to leave the window open, I'm going to be sleeping with with my missus. You can listen. These are 15, 16-year-old kids, maybe young, 13 I think he said he was. So at 13, you're like,
I'm sorry, at 13 I'd be like, sod off, what are you talking about?
But these are street kids, so he was happy to, whatever. So they'd gone down. And the next time they come round, there was like a big black bloke there. I can't remember what his name was. He was like a neighbour of his. And they said to embrace this kid, Joey D.I.Y and his mates, like they said, do you want to be here? Yeah. Do you want to get high? Yeah, because he smoked a lot of cannabis back then. He still does now. He says, do you want to go and do something in the bedroom? And he's like, what the hell are you on about?
Who's this?
They said it to Joey D.I.Y. This bloke, Puerto Rican Nelson.
Is he the black guy?
It was him and his mate.
Okay.
Do come in the bedroom and take, I want to see you without your clothes on. And they're like, what the F you playing at? Get out of here. And they ran off. They got out of there. Nothing happened to them. But they never reported it. They said to him, why didn't you say anything? Because back then it was just the sort of thing to happen. It was just like normal behaviour. Like,
yeah, this is
around.
what my mum was telling me about. Like, she was like, there were so many blind eyes turned in them days. Like,
one of the worst ones is the church, the Catholic Church.
The Vatican, more to the point.
Yeah, but what they used to do, probably still do now, if you was at court doing something as a priest, because a lot of them were caught, they'd move you to another one, to another church in another city, another country, and they just keep you moving you around. And this one bloke, he was like doing terrible stuff to these young boys,
oh my God,
to altar boys, I think they were called, in the church.
Yeah.
So they moved him to a school, like a boarding school, for deaf children. So I mean, he's already a predator. He's already terrible. He's already done all this horrible stuff. So you move him to a school where the kids can't even report it. They can't even really talk that well. Sign language, yeah. But, they couldn't really be understood back then. I mean, talk about in the 60s or 70s, something like that.
Maybe that was their plan then.
Don't know. I mean, we're not religious or anything, and we're not knocking people who are. But everyone knows. In America, it was like 10% of LA's priests, I think it was, like for the Catholic priests, were accused of God knows what.
Well, now there was a lot of problems that the Vatican, had a lot of that issues there. To be honest with you, it freaks me out, anything like this, because I don't know, what are you doing? I don't know if it's alright. He's wiping his hands on the oven gloves. I'm not going to lie. He's bloody Leigh. Oven gloves.
It's alright.
it's a horrible situation, but I think it's a good topic and a good talking point in the comments. If you'd like to leave us some interesting viewpoints, obviously, some decent replies.
Yeah, everything we talked about, guys, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. It don't have to be controversial. If it's, we might have to remove it if you put bad language in there. But if not, then just let us know constructively what you think of what we said.
Well, I think they all need locking up myself.
Yeah, and me. Especially the old ladies and old men who want to sleep with young men and young women. Only joking. If you're watching out there, Deirdre,
or
you got
your
my
dad,
number.
Jody.
I was on a bigger age gap than 30 years.
Anyway, guys, a lot of people would sit there and think about it.
I think as a man, it's easier to say, yeah.
Bear in mind, when you are with this person, you live the life of luxury.
Yeah. I think it's easier as the man for the simple reason that. So you get women, older women, let's say they're celebrities because they're about money and stuff. Like they've been in TV or films. They're in the 70s, not 80s, they're in their 80s.
Yeah, it has to be like an age where...
Yeah, they're in their 80s, but women can wear makeup, can't they? So they can still look younger. Even when you're in your 80s, you can still look like you're in your 60s. Helen Mirren's like 80, I think, and she looks at times like she's in her 60s or 50s.
That's an extreme. I'm talking about...
Yes, but if she wore makeup to make herself look attractive, like for an older woman, then that's different to being like a bloke who's just sitting there, pipe in one hand, something else in the other hand, saying, love, come on over, help me out.
The same type of deal for a bloke. So, like he's looked after himself type of thing. But you can still tell he is old enough to be your grandma or granddad, right? Could you cope with that? Like, it doesn't matter, does it? Because at the end of the day, a person's going to take their makeup off and they might not want to wear makeup around you. They might not. They might want to say, I only want to do it when we go out. What?
How was yours, Bob?
This is what I'm saying. The
Okay, I got
is,
you.
You can't say to the woman, look, I'm not being funny, just get that Chanel number 5 out, get a bit of Estee Lauder double wear on your face and we're good to go.
I wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about with makeup. I'd just say, love, can't you make an effort for me here? Because, like, I'm giving up my good years here to, like, keep you company at night time and rub your feet and, you rub your varicose veins and stuff. So I would be a bit, I don't know. Again, I don't really care for money that much. If you offered me, like, some people, if you say, look, there's 5 million quid, walk away from your partner now, a lot of people would take it. I wouldn't. If someone said, here's 5 million quid, Leigh, walk away from it, I would take it. I would do, and I said, I'd ring up, hey, Mum, I got 5 million quid, meet me in Barbados. Shh. Keep it on the down, keep it on the down low. Don't even tell your mum it's here. Just me and you are going to live the life of luxury. But no, it goes. Sorry, I don't know with that one. But another question I was going to ask.
Oh, no, you got a bit of chicken under your nose.
Oh, bloody hell. We go on.
Yeah.
Another question I was going to ask regarding something very similar to that was, this one's quite controversial, so you need to think about it and think about what I'm saying. Hear my words before you start tapping away in comments. Leigh, you bloody arsehole, how can you say that? So don't do that until you hear what I'm going to say.
I said to warn me before this.
Because this is something else I heard. This was a conversation I was listening to today on a podcast. When I walk the dogs, I listen to podcasts. And that's where I get a lot of my topics and ideas for conversations from.
Okay.
And again, Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan was on about this. And they was on about the R. Kelly situation. Back at, obviously he had all them young women. I've not watched the documentary yet. We started, so I think we turned it off after like 10 minutes. But apparently he had them like locked in his house. They weren't allowed to leave. There was all about 15. He apparently, only from what I've heard, got like false documents to say Aaliyah was older when she was like 15, so he could marry her. He used to, like, there was a clip or something of him peeing on some young girl.
What?
Really, I haven't seen it. They just mentioned it today. Really weird stuff. This is R. Kelly. Where was I going with this one?
You know what's really strange?
What?
Round here, because like, R.I.M.E. R. Leigh, and we went, it's R. Kelly.
It's not R. Mike Kelly.
Go on.
No. So,
This controversial question that I can see you're a bit paranoid about saying.
I was worried about that. I thought I'd forgotten what it was. Bear with.
You sure you want to put this out there?
Yeah. So, completely out of order. He deserves to be locked up, and he is locked up. And I think they were saying sort of when he gets out, he won't have a penny to his name. But if it was the other way around, if you had, like they use the example of J-Lo. If you got Jennifer Lopez or somebody else who's like really, attractive and famous. I don't know, Beyonce, somebody like that.
Yeah.
If you're a 16-year-old lad, and your mate comes to
No, but
school...
it's not 16, it's 15. Which is
Okay,
illegal.
15, 16. If you're a 15-year-old lad in England, I know when I was in school, if one of my mates comes and said, you never guess what I got up to last night, Leigh? What's that? What happened? I slept with Beyonce. I slept with J-Lo. And then they said, like, if J-Lo had, like, 10, 15-year-olds around her, 16-year-olds, they ain't going home complaining. They're like, I just got to sleep with J-Lo. All my dreams have come true.
I mean...
Then again, I did hear that. I think he was drugging them. So in that respect, I ain't going to like to stand on what I'm saying. I think that's what they were suggesting. Because they said you do not want R. Kelly being your dentist, basically. If he drugs you up and stuff and takes advantage.
To be honest with you, it says more about the adult, doesn't it, than the young person? Because obviously...
Oh, right, he's banged up and he should never get out for what he did. But at the same time, I'm just saying, if it's a lad sleeping with a famous lady, we don't hear about it. And if we do, as a bloke, when I was a young lad, if my mate said he slept with Jerry Halliwell, who I fancied when I was like 12...
Compare Jerry Halliwell to J-Lo.
When I was like 12, everyone fancied Jerry Halliwell or one of the Spice Girls. Apart from Scary or Sporty, no one liked them two. Anyways.
Apart from Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie did. But you'd be like, you lucky git. Any chance you need a mate to come round and help you?
All the stunning women and you say Jerry Halliwell.
When I was a kid, everyone fancied Jerry Halliwell, end of. We're talking like 15, 20 odd years ago, is it? Maybe more, 23 years ago? Since I was 12?
I mean, I don't know. It's like... I don't know what to say about that one. I really don't. Because... If you're a young girl. Like, I remember when I was 14, 15... I used to fancy, like, older singers.
You like watching that in Backstreet Boys, didn't you, back in the day?
Nick and everybody. Yeah, but, like, I'm talking about much older, like, age older, like, was out of order. Kind of like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Things like that. But if I was given an opportunity at 15, hi, it's Will. Do you want to come over? Temptation, obviously, but at the end of the day, I think it would be real scary to actually go ahead, go around some guy's house.
An older man, like that. Mm.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I've been in a situation when I was 19, 20, I sort of had an episode of dating this 38-year-old. Now, I'm 35 now. He was knocking on 40. And I was 19. So,
But you was 19, you was above age, you was allowed to make your own decisions.
Of course, but looking back now, would I now, at nearly 38, go with a 19-year-old boy? The answer is no.
No, I get you.
So, I would feel... I don't understand why. Obviously, R. Kelly, why on earth would he need to be with a 15-year-old?
You'd have to... Well, we haven't watched a documentary, we don't know how it all went down. But I ain't saying that the girls wanted to do whatever. So before you jump down my throat with that one, I was just saying how if it's a lad sleeping with an older woman, it would be a lot more accepted in the world. Like, fair play to you. But because it's the girls, and obviously, he was doing God knows what to these poor girls. Rightly so. He was condemned and he's gone to prison for probably the rest of his life, I reckon.
I don't even know the outcome of the trial or anything.
I know he's gone to prison, and obviously for a long, long time. But people knew about this stuff way back. Even when he was singing "But I Believe I Can Fly," and
you see, in the 80s, Mum said to me, like when you go on about like Jimmy Savile and things like that, she says it was funny. She said, but things like that was just sort of like looked over. Mm. And people could see. Mum said, my mum believes. She's always thought it was Jimmy Savile. My mum's like, yeah, he's a predator. She says, but it's funny. She said back then, people kind of just, not put up with it, but not sort of accepted things happen behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And things like that. And she was like,